Ever since Asha Sharma took over as CEO of Xbox back in February, there's been a noticeable shift in direction for the brand. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're breaking down the changes happening at Xbox, what they mean, and whether the brand is finally heading back in the right direction. Let's start with one of the biggest recent moves, Xbox Game Pass pricing. Just last week, the price dropped from $29.99 to $22. On the surface, that's a win for players. But there's a trade-off. Moving forward, Call of Duty will no longer launch day one on Game Pass Ultimate. Instead, new entries will arrive on the service about a year later. That's a pretty significant shift, especially considering how important day one releases have been to the Game Pass model. Let's start with one of the biggest recent moves, Xbox Game Pass pricing. Just last week, the price dropped from $29.99 to $22. On the surface, that's a win for players. But there's a trade-off. Moving forward, Call of Duty will no longer launch day one on Game Pass Ultimate. Instead, new entries will arrive on the service about a year later. That's a pretty significant shift, especially considering how important day one releases have been to the Game Pass model. But that's just one part of a much bigger strategy. Asha Sharma has also started reshaping Xbox internally. One of the biggest changes is rebranding Microsoft Gaming back to Xbox, signaling a stronger focus on the core identity of the platform. Alongside that, there's a new North Star for the company: daily active players. In other words, engagement is now just as important, if not more, than hardware sales. We're also seeing a visual refresh. Xbox is leaning back into its roots with the return of that iconic lime green branding. It might seem small, but it's clearly part of a broader effort to reconnect with longtime fans. Now let's talk about the biggest question surrounding Xbox right now: exclusivity. Back in 2024, Phil Spencer made headlines when he confirmed that several first-party Xbox titles would go multi-platform. And we've already seen the results. Games like Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush launched on PlayStation 5 and performed extremely well, both becoming top sellers on the PlayStation Store. That success led to more titles making the jump, including Gears of War Reloaded, Forza Horizon 5, and Halo Campaign Evolved. So now the big question is, does Xbox go back to full exclusives, or continue down the multi-platform path? According to Sharma, the answer isn't simple. She's made it clear that decisions won't be rushed. However, there's a renewed focus on the Xbox console itself, something fans felt was missing during the infamous This Is an Xbox campaign in 2024. That campaign pushed the idea that you could play Xbox anywhere, mobile, PC, cloud, but many players felt it downplayed the console's importance. Now, it looks like Xbox is course-correcting. So what could the future look like? One possibility is timed exclusivity. That means first-party games launch on Xbox and PC first, then arrive on PlayStation or other platforms a year later. It's a middle ground that could keep Xbox competitive while still expanding its audience. We're already seeing hints of this approach. Forza Horizon 5 performed incredibly well on PlayStation, and more titles are reportedly on the way, including Halo Campaign Evolved, Fable, and Forza Horizon 6. Then there's Gears of War, E-Day, which is currently slated for Xbox and PC. The big question is whether it stays exclusive or follows that same timed release strategy. Right now, it could go either way. Looking ahead, Xbox has even more riding on its future. Project Helix, the rumored next-gen console, is expected to launch next year as a hybrid between a console and a PC. And with the Xbox Showcase coming up in June, all eyes are on Asha Sharma as she prepares to address fans for the first time in a major public setting. Right now, everything does seem like it's heading in the right direction. There's a stronger focus on the console again, which is important, especially as the Xbox Series X and Series S have been trailing behind the competition in recent months. But at the same time, there are small signs of momentum. More players are picking up the Series X again, and that could be an early indicator that confidence in the brand is starting to return. Ultimately, this feels like a turning point. Xbox is trying to balance its identity between platform, service, and hardware, and for the first time in a while, those pieces might finally be aligning. So what do you think about Asha Sharma making these big changes to Xbox? Do you think this puts the brand back on the right path? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you soon.